The princes and bishops of Germany had finally elected a new emperor. In 1273, Rudolf of Habsburg was crowned Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire in the magnificent Cathedral of Aachen. It was a surprising choice that nobody had expected. Rudolf was known to be poor and insignificant, albeit cunning. But Rudolf promised that he would restore peace and order in the empire. Ottokar was not so pleased. When he heard of this surprise, he fell into the rage when he had to hear that of all possible men, this fool Rudolf had been chosen. Ottokar had been warned. His divorce, his far too great power, and his unmatched pride had been a thorn in the side of smaller princes in the empire. That is why they preferred Rudolf as emperor instead of Ottokar. Rudolf asked Ottokar to cede all conquests to the emperor and swear allegiance to him. But Ottokar was not ready to give up so quickly. If necessary, he had to get the imperial crown by force. He gathered his troops in the fortified city of Vienna, where he was waiting for Rudolf's attack. The soldiers knew that they had to defend the city at all costs, but the danger lurked within the walls as well. Because of the siege, it became more and more likely that a fire would break out and lay Vienna in ruins.
Приказание правильно. Собиратель. Здравствуй.
Да.
Сейчас сделаю. Сказание. Зештитель. Готов. Зештитель.
Да. Приказание.
Собирательница. Собирательница.
Да.
Приказание. Готово. Сделаю. Собирательница. Приказание. Да. Правильно. Собирательница. Здрав будь. Собирательница. Собирательница.
The soldiers needed all available supplies to defend the city. Still, a few unloyal citizens have kept supplies hidden in their homes from the defenders. Ottokar decided to search all suspicious houses in the city for possible supplies.
Готово. Приказание. Сделаю. Да. Тотчас правильно. Тотчас сделаю.
Здравствуй.
Приказание. Понятно. Да, понятно. Да, сбой. Ваше оружие.
Здрав будь. Приказание.
Приказание.
Да, спасибо. Имя Господне.
Ваша услуга. Стой!
Ottokar had underestimated Rudolf. The new emperor had assembled an impressive number of allies in no time and was now beginning his attack.
Готово. Да. Заждительница.
A terrible fire had broken out in the city. The city's defenders had to quickly build a system to contain the fire.
Приказание. Здравствуй. Ас готов. Приказание. Туда коп.
Приказание. Да, сделаю. Ас готова. Сделаю.
Да, не отбой!
Здравствуй. Делай, делай.
Атака!
Здравствуй. Да, ас сделаю. Зыждительница.
Ас готов. Туда коп.
Приказание. Ваша воля делай, да?
Приказание. Да. Правильно. Ас готов. Делаю. Здравствуй. Приказание. Ремонтник. Правильно. Сейчас делай. Зештите. 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 Ас готов. Правильно. Тотчас сделаю.
Оружию!
Приказание. Да. Делаю. Правильно. Зештите.
Приказание. Да.
Да.
Да, атака! Бой! Оружию!
Здравствуй. Ас готова. Да, рудокоп.
Здравствуй. Зештитель.
Ас готова. Зыждительница. Приказание.
Да.
Зыждительница.
Зештитель.
The roof of the beautiful cathedral was catching fire. They had to act quickly. The defenders were relieved when they heard news that reinforcements from Bohemia were underway. The mighty Zavis of Falkenstein would to lead many Bohemian knights to the end.
оружию!
Здравствуй, ас готов.
Вашему бою!
Да. Сейчас сделаю. Да. Ас, делай. Здравствуй, указания. Сейчас делаю. Да, правильно. Ас, готов.
Приказание.
Ас, готов. Указания. Сейчас сделаю. Зештите, зештите. Зештите. Ас, ремонтник. Зештите. Да.
Да, правильно. Зыждительница.
Правильно.
A terrible fire had broken out in the city. The city's defenders had to quickly build a system to contain the fire.
Приказание. Здрав будь. Да. Правильно. Зыждительница.
Указания. Ас, готов. Зештите. Забирайте.
Ас готов. Забирай. Да. Ас готова.
Да, здравствуй. Зештите. Ас, готов. Зештите. Да, здравствуй. Ас, делай. Зештите. Указания.
Приказание.
Зештите.
Да. Зыждительница.
Да, приказания.
Да, ас, готов.
К вашим услугам. Понятно. Точно сделано.
Указания. Делаю. Зештите.
Вашему
Атака!
оружию!
Здрав будь. Тотчас сделаю. Зештите.
Да.
To Ottokar's despair, the Teutonic Knights swore their allegiance to Rudolf of Habsburg. Their services were no longer available to him.
готово. Зажги лесорубка.
Ottokar heard terrible news. Zavis of Falkenstein secretly allied himself with his enemies and betrayed him. He would lead his knights against the walls of Vienna. To make things worse, Ottokar also heard rumors that Zavis seduced his own wife Hilgunda. A terrible fire had broken out in the city. The city's defenders had to quickly build a system to contain the fire.
Здравствуй.
Достойче стрелы.
Аз готов. Указания.
Указания.
Да.
Собиратель.
Приказания.
Готов. Делаю. Приказания. Сделаю. Собиратель.
Вашему слугой. Да, господин, да.
Ас готов. Зешните. Зешните. Собиратель.
Сейчас сделаю. Заждительный. Собирательный.
Вашему слугу. Приказания.
Аз готов. Собирательный.
Здравствуй. Приказания. Зешните. Зешните. Зешните.
Да. Ремонт, заждительный.
Да,
Понятно,
оружие.
сделаю.
Приказания. Атака.
A terrible fire had broken out in the city. The city's defenders had to quickly build a system to contain the fire.
Приказания. Собирательный.
Что делаю? Зешните. Зешните.
The citizens of Vienna donated their last supplies to Ottokar to defend their city.
Зешните. 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 Приказания.
Бой! Атака!
Приказание. Да, сделаю. Готово. Зыждительница. Трав, зыждите. Приказание, зыждительница. Трав, тотчас приказание. Зыждительница. Да. Готово.
Ас готов. Приказания. Зешните.
Приказание. Разбирать. Ас готово.
That day, new banners were visible on the horizon. Rudolf had now mobilized all of his forces to completely destroy Ottokar in a last major attack.
Трав делаю. Зешните.
Broken out in the city. The city's defenders had to quickly build a system to contain the fire.
Готово. Собирательница. Зыждительница.
Да, здрав. Да, собиратель.
His false friends may have betrayed him, but Ottokar was not yet defeated. Ottokar and Rudolf agreed on an armistice. Ottokar had heard that further unrest had broken out in Bohemia and could not fight two battles at the same time. As a condition of the armistice, Rudolf demanded that Ottokar kneel before him and recognize him as emperor. Ottokar agreed with gritted teeth. Ottokar stepped before Rudolf in his most gorgeous robe, but the emperor only wore poor peasant clothes to further humiliate him. When Ottokar found out that his wife Kunigunda had an affair with the revolt leader Zavis of Falkenstein, he confronted her with the rumors. She just laughed and said that she only accepted Ottokar as a man if he stopped kneeling in front of his enemies and instead fought for what was due to him.
Приказания.